Welcome to the first episode of Hot Use Meta and Deals, and I am joined here by the one, the only nerd on a budget. How you doing, Danny?
Hey, what's up, Brian? Hey, what's up, everyone? Danny here. I'm doing great. How are you doing, man?
Really good. A little bit tired. It is just past midnight, so
Okay.
we
I'm
kind
also a little tired. It's just 7:30 a.m. right now,
so the time
but we
difference is
made it
a
work.
yeah, the time difference is a really crazy. Chat is popping, except chat's actually a bit weird on this. So we've got the live chat on the side anyway. You can monitor live chat for us. You'll be awesome, won't you? And if there's
Yeah,
questions
I'm
come
trying
up,
to. I don't see your stream popped up yet on.
okay.
There it is.
It'll
All
pop
right.
up. I can fix the chat later. That's one of those things that happens. But we've got here today the deals. We're going to look at them and we're going to check them out, see what's hot, see what's not, and also if there's new strategies as well that you need to go into as a deal hunter. What can you pull up and sort of what's the new tactics? Because you know what meta means, don't you? Or you're not into the MOBA
Yeah,
scene? Okay.
most effective tactic available,
That's
right?
what we're looking for. So we've got all these
Yeah.
tactics. They shift from time to time, especially when you're a deal hunter. Like today, when I was on Gumtree, I saw a guy. This is just before you even get into the deals. He's got two graphics cards for sale, right? He's got 350 Australian dollars for I think it was like an R9 280 and an R9 280X, and he said 180 each or 350 for the pair. Now, I didn't even bother putting in an offer on this because when you're only giving a discount for two graphics cards selling as a pair, it means you're not willing to budge much at all. So for me, it's like, why even waste my time putting in an offer, right? So
Yeah.
sometimes I just flick through deals, and sometimes you can lowball or you can go a lot lower if the person suggests that in the ad. But if the
hmm
person's not and they're pretty strict with their language, then it's like, what's the point? So, kind of thing like, anyway, that's the first thing.
Yeah.
So, what we got here is we're going to pull up the first deal we got here. So, this is from Kryptonic HD, and he's actually in the Discord. He's a member from the Discord.
Hey, I'm
And,
curious. I'm curious if he's awake right now. It's 7:30 for him, so
yep.
he's in. So he's from San Diego, California, and he got a GTX 1080 Founders Edition used, but it was in really good condition on OfferUp for $400,
Oh, really?
which in this, yeah, $400. And I think right now, even with the prices of graphics cards coming down, we're still seeing them float around 500 or so. But I think when he picked this up, it was actually the prices were higher. So
I
this is a really good deal. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the PC itself looks pretty clean as well. I mean I'm loving these red fans, very ambient, give off a very nice ambient lighting to the case. But all that aside, the bling aside, we've got here GTX 1080 Founders Edition, 400 US
hmm
dollars. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
And that's actually, I mean, that's a really good deal. I mean, most people aren't going to be able to get that, but naturally, if you can see a deal, especially if someone needs to get rid of it pretty quickly, you can snap that deal up, and it's like, hey, I just picked up some really good tech. And so,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I mean, when you put in a deal for a GTX 1080, or what's your sort of most hunted card? I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to say the most thing that I've hunted would have been a GTX 780 and 780 Ti's. They're the most picked up card here on the channel. I get them for really good
Mm.
prices. You personally, what do you think you get in terms of your graphics cards? What's the most picked up graphics card you get?
I think it hasn't been recently, but it used to be the HD 7950.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, geez, those were so powerful
Yeah.
and they used to go for like 70 to $80. But that changed with the whole mining situation. So then I went to Nvidia, and I'd say the GTX 770 is my go-to.
Yeah, GTX
And it,
770. Did I hear that?
yeah, and it's
Okay.
just because it comes in usually at a cheaper price point at this as the 780. I don't see too many of those in the used market here.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
Yeah, and the 770, even though it does only have 2 gigabytes of VRAM, I think for 1080p, I usually recommend it because you usually don't have a problem in terms of the performance it gives, especially since you can find those for like 60 to $70 usually.
Exactly. Sometimes you can even get them cheaper. I mean, my favorite out of that sort of lineup is the 670. Very underrated. You can pick them up for dirt
Mm,
cheap, and you get that. You
yeah.
still get that 2 gigabyte VRAM buffer. But another thing
hmm
too is you just micro the settings, right? You can still get away with 1080p gaming with the 670, and that's what I've found. You just
Yeah.
micro the settings, even in today's titles. So we got here the. So this is going back through Kryptonic's deal. I'll just get back to the pictures here. He also picked up some DDR4 memory too, yeah?
Yeah, he got 16 gigabytes of Corsair Vengeance. It's the 2133 megahertz, so the entry level clock. He could probably overclock it a little more, but it's he only got it for $100. And right now, I think the going price for RAM for 16 gigs is around 150, 160.
Yeah.
So
Oh, it's
RAM is RAM though,
ridiculous.
right? I
Yeah.
mean, used, new, I don't care.
It's a little bit funny you say that though. I did get some used memory, some used DDR4,
Uh-huh.
and it was some Corsair stuff, and
Yeah.
it was one 16 gigabyte stick was faulty. Rest in peace.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
and that
Was this
hurt.
used
That
from
was yeah.
a local pickup?
Yeah, well, it was a local pickup and a deal, and that hurt, man. When
Oh.
that 16 gigabyte stick was faulty, it was like,
Uh-huh.
oh, like if you've ever played a gnome rogue in World of Warcraft, it's like he's getting hit in the back, It's like, ooh, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. That's how I felt when this 16 gigabyte stick was faulty, and anyway,
Did
anyway.
you call the guy back up? Like, what happened?
No, it's basically what I asked Corsair. I'm like, hey, can you replace this? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, that's
Oh
awesome.
yeah,
Because you
Corsair's
technically,
awesome.
well, it's warranty, right? I mean, DDR4 is not that old, and I think it doesn't even
Well,
matter
no.
if you don't have the receipt. It's technically
Okay.
released in the frame of their warranty where it has to be replaced, kind of thing. It's weird. So,
Mhm. It's
but
funny, because I looked that up because I know that all RAM basically have lifetime warranty, but if you go to their fine print, I thought it was Corsair that I saw that it said it's not transferable, but it seems like their customer service might be a little lenient and just say, ah, whatever, replace the RAM for the guy.
yeah. Well, I mean, especially since they are a channel sponsor, so hopefully that can help
Oh
out.
yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, Archie Wade, thanks man. Yeah, we're doing a midnight stream. Well, Danny's in the US, so it's
It's a
early
morning
morning.
stream
Yeah.
for most of the US
Yeah.
people.
So that's Kryptonic. I do give him credit. Those are some pretty good deals. And
Mhm.
do we want to move on now? We'll pull up the next deal we got here from Jonathan. He
All right.
is. You want to tell us a little bit about these deals that Jonathan was picking up
Oh
here?
yeah. All right,
And
so Jonathan is from Illinois, and he picked up two MSI Twin Frozer, four GTX 970s for $335. One of them
oh,
is the Red Gaming X version, and the other is the green millionth edition one. Both of those look like beautiful cards if you have the pictures up. But in his story, he basically said he drove 3 hours total to get these cards. Yeah, and he's using the green one in his system, and he has a red one in his mining system, so he's a miner. But yeah.
oh, is it? You got to be careful when you let that word off.
Yeah,
Minor.
I know.
Yeah, people will try and be
People
like,
get a little angry.
What's going on? So we got what's going on with that speaker inside the case? I don't know why my eyes just naturally go towards that speaker right there on the. Is that like included in the case, or is that just some
On
funky
which
mod?
image?
I think it's an image 3.
Oh, at the
Yeah,
bottom.
yeah, it
Yeah,
looks like a
yeah.
speaker, and then Windows hasn't been activated either. Um,
Yeah. And
I
the
don't,
cable management
I
for those
don't.
cards is
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't. Yeah, I don't know why my eyes are sort of veering off from the actual deals, but it's not bad. I mean, 970s. I find in Oz, at least in the Gold Coast, they're. I don't know, man. They just sell for too much. I'm not interested in paying 250 Aussie for a 970 when I can pick up
Hmm.
a GTX 1060 for the same price. And I mean, 1060 in my books
Oh
is
yeah.
even a 3 gig. I'd rather a 3 gigabyte version 1060 than a 970. How about you?
So in the US, it's kind of the opposite.
Yeah.
I've been recommending to my viewers to pick up a 970 because
Yeah.
they go for around 150 here right now
Yep.
USD. And even the 3 gigabyte GTX 1060s aren't any lower usually than 200 unless you can find a used deal. But even then, because they're kind of the newest series, they still go for like a 190 or so.
Definitely,
Um,
yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. But if they were the same price,
Oh,
yeah,
if they're the same price, I'd go for the 1060. I'm not
yeah,
going to miss that half
yeah,
gigabyte of VRAM,
yeah,
and the newer card just helps the resellability down the road and driver support.
yeah, exactly. I was going to say the driver support too is a kind of a big thing. I mean, when you move on from architecture to architecture, so that's pretty good deals. I mean, 970s are always good, especially when you get them nice and pretty. The 1 millionth edition that looks good, especially if you're an Nvidia
Yeah.
fanboy. You've got
Hmm.
that nice green really blinging through the case. So next up, we're going to pull up here is Anthony. I mean, there's not much to work with here, but
Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony. I mean,
Oh
what did you,
yeah.
so it's just all I got here is a graphics card, 1050 Ti, $90. Of course, picking up a 1050 Ti. It's funny that we looked at this because on my deals hunt just recently, it's just been recently uploaded. Crazy because I just picked up a 1050 Ti. I mean, sorry, in the past I picked up 1050 Ti's for around about the same money when you convert US to
Yep.
Aussie. This time around though, someone went and paid 200 Aussie for a 1050 Ti, and that's used. And I was just like scratching my head because this isn't really a deal, you know.
That's how much they're going for now, though. Like, their prices spiked in the last month or two,
Yeah.
or maybe even longer than that. But even the used, do you know EVGA B stocks? It's like the used and refurbished EVGA deals that we have here in the US.
Yeah.
So they sell them secondhand, and they used to go for like as low as 120 to 130 USD, which I think is a great price for how they perform. But they've recently, for used, this is recertified or refurbished, they've spiked up to like 170 to 180. So
Oh wow.
that's a horrible price. You can get like a GTX 770 for the same performance for half of that.
I mean,
But
but always picking up a deal like this, again, one-time deals is what it's all about. If you can get those one-time deals, I think we've kind of got to cement that to the viewers. I mean, a lot of the time I get really good deals, and then people are like, it's not practical, Brian. It's not practical.
oh
But,
yeah,
a lot
I
of the
get that
time,
all the time.
yeah. But I mean, a lot of times I seem to keep getting these deals all the time. Except
Yeah.
maybe lately, maybe a trend's going to happen. I'm worried about that. I shouldn't speak too soon because this time around was a bit of a fail. But we got up here next, of course. We're going to pull up Alfred. I think Alfred A. You've got the.
Okay.
Sorry, we pull up the deals for Alfred A. So what do we got on our hands here? We just got a purchase receipt here for a.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's a 144 hertz Acer 24-inch monitor.
Yeah.
So he got this on, it looks like it was eBay. He has a really long ad. I'm not sure if you can see that on your screen. Like one of the images is super long. It's the whole eBay ad.
Okay.
But yeah, he picked this up on a kind of a slight deal.
Yeah.
I guess, what are your opinions on like the whole 144 hertz scene? Is that what you game on?
I game on, yeah, actually I do.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still cheap, so I have like a 60 hertz ultra wide.
Okay, is that 1440p or 1080p?
No, it's 1080p, man. I've been looking at 1440p.
Dude, you're missing
but-
out. You're missing out.
I know,
bro.
but they're like $400 or $500 here in the US.
Yeah.
So it's so hard to justify it. And my 1080 one, I got like a deal for like
Thanks,
250 or
Archie.
so. So
Yeah. Archie just said Tech Dundee TV. That's just a joke, guys. A running joke.
Oh.
We get so many jokes about Crocodile Dundee from the guys over in the US. So I figured, hey, why not just make it Tech Dundee? That's just what the letters are going to shine. So yeah, I mean, 144 hertz for $128. I'm not sure if that's a really good deal. I'm not familiar with that monitor too much. Acer, of course, they do make good monitors. I know this. They're low input lag. They're very snappy. In terms of response
yeah, I think this
times.
one's 1 millisecond input lag according to the spec sheet and FreeSync.
Yeah, and so the specs are good, especially when you're paying $128 for that monitor. It's really good. And of course, I mean, 144 hertz, I always like higher refresh rates, but of course, I don't like it when it's too much at the detriment. Like I prefer 14, like for instance, theoretically, I would prefer 100 hertz 1440p over 144 1080p.
Yeah.
Higher refresh rate. What about you?
Let's see. I've been only on ultra wide for the last 2 years or so. And I haven't been gaming on 1080 or 1440p at higher refresh rates, even though I do have a GTX 1070 that could push it.
Yeah.
I just haven't found the right deal on the monitor yet. So I don't have an opinion there, honestly.
Okay. No.
Yeah.
All right, that's all right. Man. We've got to get you on a higher refresh rate monitor. But in the meantime, we will pull up the next deal. And this is going from Austin B. So he looks like he's got a bit of stuff here to pull up. So you want to tell us what some of these deals are about here?
Yeah, so we got Austin from Michigan, and he picked up a full, complete PC with the graphics card in it that wasn't working, but he only spent $200 on it. Okay. So I think all the specs are in here. So we got a give me 1 second.
Okay.
I think some of these images are smaller and lower quality, but
yeah, he's got the text. Nice. He's got, how about $35?
Oh yeah. So that's one of the things I ask for people to submit in when they submit deals, just because I don't want people just looking at something they already have and just saying they got it for like $3, you know?
Yeah.
Like you got to provide some proof. And I think it just helps sell other people on the fact that these deals are legitimate and, you know, they're real and you can get them yourself. So yeah, he posted all the conversations and everything.
Yeah.
But I think the big thing in this pickup was the R9 280. I think
Photos
that's
are really low res. Yeah. The photo. We're looking at
yeah,
some
no,
low
this is
res
what I was
photos,
talking
yeah.
about. Sometimes when people
Yeah.
send it, they accidentally send the phone thumbnails. So they're really tiny, but
Yeah.
the one with the Facebook ad, I think it's big enough to view the text.
Okay.
So we can go through and look at that and see what the $200 bought him.
Okay. I'm
Um,
looking. Yeah. It looks like he's got a lot of gear for this $200.
it's a complete system, so
Okay. So it's kind of a bit of a wacky deal, though. I'd like to see if he can send in some next time some higher res photos. That would be awesome.
yeah.
So kind of a little bit of a weird one there, guys, but sorry about that. Didn't mean to ruin the viewer's eyes. I mean, look, I squint as it is. I actually got where are my glasses, man. Ugh. Anyway,
Yeah.
where are my glasses at, man? So we got here next up, Savage Tech.
All
Is
right.
he a savage? Or-
That's what he goes by, yeah.
Okay, right. We got next up, guys. We're pulling up a Savage here, Savage Tech. He is. Oh, whoops. Should have. Look at this behind the scenes streaming stuff. Like, Okay, so what have we got here with Savage Tech? What is the deals that we're pulling up here?
All right, so with Savage, he got a PC from an old music studio for only $75, so really cheap, under $100.
Yeah.
The specs are a Phenom 2X6 1090T Black Edition. It has 8 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM. It came with a GT 710 2 gigabyte, which is kind of a meme card.
It's kind. Yeah, it is. I mean, there's not much to do there.
No. And 1 terabyte hard drive, pretty standard. And you know, it's a full build, and it had a legit copies of Windows 7 according to him. So I think it's a pretty good price. It's kind of older stuff, but for $75,
Yeah.
it could still game decently if you slap a better graphics card in there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Phenom X6, that's a nice. That's a 6 core, yeah? That's what we're looking at, the old school 6 core.
Yep.
If
Old cool.
memory-
All
yeah.
right. 6 core. Yeah.
If I remember correctly. So we got here 6 core, old school. The fan, I mean, honestly, you can't get much overclocking with that fan that's included. That Asus motherboard, however, it is looking decent. So you could overclock this. I would be guessing if you got a half decent cooler, you could maybe get around 3.8 gigahertz. Of course, if you want to go higher than that on the X6s, you would want a. I can't really see the motherboard too well. You probably would want a better motherboard, and you'd want a better cooler for sure. But of course, the cooler at the moment, it looks like you're not doing any overclocking on that thing at all. So I mean,
Yeah.
coupling that with the
That thing's
GTX
loud.
660. I mean, yeah, but coupling that with like a GTX 660, if you could pick it up for real cheap, you could still have a PC for around about $100, and that would game
yeah.
really well. So that's actually a really nice deal. I like picking up deals like that. That's the deals I really like picking up. You notice in the used parts hunt, if you haven't seen it yet, I mean, there was a PC in Bundaberg, and I would have got the deal for $50, and it had a GTX 660 in it and a Core 2 quad and 8 gigabytes of DDR4. And now I know for a fact I could fix that thing easy if it's just randomly restarting. At worst, it's like a broken power supply.
Yeah.
And so I was just like Devo, because then I found out it was in Bundaberg. And that's like
far
literally
is that for
like
you?
a 4-hour drive, like at least.
Oh.
If I'm speeding, I could probably do 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
But then again,
Wait, what was
I'd
the price
definitely-
going for again?
Oh, okay. It was going for 50 Aussie dollars. So that'd be like $35. And that's with a GTX 660, man. Like, that's the whole PC. So, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
See, that's one of the things that you have to balance as a used parts hunter, because you can get some deals for it, but how much are you spending in time and gas, right?
Yeah,
It's like-
exactly.
You
Yeah.
spend triple in that, yeah.
Okay, so next up we got here is The Witcher. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about The Witcher? I mean, not the video
yeah.
game, the guy
Yeah.
getting the deals here. So, The Witcher's got the deals.
Yeah.
yeah.
So he bought this Dell Inspiron 5040, and it's actually a Skylake
Sorry.
Inspiron.
No, just the comment someone said.
Oh, yeah, what are they
yes,
saying?
Nerd yes city and tech yes on a budget.
Mixing our names, nice.
Guys, I love chat. Don't worry, keep it coming, guys. I love chat. Okay,
Yeah.
so sorry, we got here. It looks like an Optiplex. Yeah. So tell us more about the specs and first of all, the price paid. What did they pay for this PC?
He paid. Oh, so he's a viewer from India, which is why I really wanted to get
yeah.
this deal in.
Yeah.
So he paid almost 12,000 Indian rupees, which is about $170. And and it comes with an i5 6500, so Skylake,
Yeah.
and 4 GB of DDR4 RAM, or is it? No, I think it's DDR3L RAM. Let me see.
Okay.
Um,
I'm
this might
looking.
be one of the ones. Yeah.
He hasn't got too much to show. It's kind of like he's just like one of those teasing chicks, you know, they just show you a little bit and you're like, hey,
He
come
didn't
on.
open it up for
Yeah,
us.
he didn't open it up enough. So
Yeah.
he was just doing a bit of a tease here. So
Oh,
yeah.
this one.
Oh,
This one
yeah.
might be one of the ones that uses DDR3. Let me look it up real quick on
Oh, yeah. I think
Google.
we got a phone number up here. I hope they don't
Uh-oh.
mind.
Oops.
Oops.
I,
Well,
I forgot.
that's all right.
Uh,
I mean, hey, he's going to
it's an
be,
Indian phone number, so
yeah,
if you want to call it.
he's going to be a celebrity in India now.
Oh,
Uh,
this is actually DDR3 RAM. Yeah.
yeah,
So it's
there's
one of
the
those Skylake ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Skylake with the DDR3L support or whatever it was. Yeah, it was
Yep.
kind of rare, but it does work pretty well, especially on a budget. I mean, I don't know how much that converts to. Sorry, in US dollars, 1,200 rupees.
170.
170
170.
USD. Okay, that's not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah. Because the
Okay.
processor alone, I
Yeah.
don't think I could find that for under $100.
Especially for the guys in India, they always complain to me that their prices are bad over there. And so if you can pick up a deal in India, then that's not bad at all. So
Mhm.
hats off. Hats off to The Witcher. So we're going to move on to the next deal now. We're in transition here because if you see the behind the scenes stream stuff, it's like, okay. Next up out here we got Brian, and that's not me. It's another Brian. So we're going
Yeah.
to pull up these deals here. Next up we got Brian. Again, guys, we got to get the bigger shots in here. I can barely see this, and the viewers will be like, damn, man, can you lend me those glasses, Brian? $200 it looks like. We got that text is hard to read. So i7 2600K, Asus
Yep.
P8, it's the P67 motherboard. M Pro, or is it Z67, yeah? But they call it a P67. 16 gigabytes of
It's a PC,
DDR3, Corsair CPU cooler, GTX 560. So he paid 200, or did he pay less? Did he drop in an offer on that?
No, he offered the guy 160, and the guy took it for 160.
Okay, 160 is a solid deal, especially with the memory. That amount of memory is always gold. When you're picking up 16 gigabytes of memory for that price, that's pretty good. So
Yeah, I think that memory is probably worth 80 alone in that deal.
yeah,
So half of that went to the memory, and then you get the 2600K P67 motherboard, all the other stuff added on top of it. It's a
oh,
lot
here we
better
go. We
value.
got some good photos now. So yeah, that's a really solid motherboard actually. That makes a deal so much better. When you get a solid motherboard, like in the recent parts hunt I did, I turned down a deal because it didn't have a good motherboard, or at least even an overclockable motherboard. One thing I hate about OEMs, especially in the older
Oh,
generation, is they're not overclockable at all, and especially on the first generation Intels, that's where you really want an overclockable motherboard because that's where you're going to extract a lot of value out of those X3440s to the point where they can beat a 2600, for example. And you're getting so much value now out of that CPU. But when we look at this, this motherboard's very solid. Plus, he's got a really good cooler to boot. 16 gigabytes of RAM, 2600K. All you have to do is get a good graphics card, good power supply. Don't even need a case. I mean, if you're on a budget and you're real, and you're going real
Test
as
bench.
real,
Yeah.
that's it. Just have
Cardboard box.
have the thing hanging off the table, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah, that motherboard, because it's getting kind of old now and they don't really make them anymore.
Yeah.
Those I was looking on eBay, those go for like $80 used. So
Yeah.
that's another big hitter in that deal in
nice
terms
shot.
of the price. Yeah.
okay, I don't know what my live chat's just like broken. Not my live chat, sorry, my super chat alert's just like displaying the donation permanently. Oh, hold on, we got another. Just as we said, another $5 donation. Thanks, brother. For those like me with ads, where do we put the link for a chance for you to take a look at them? Okay, guys, at the end of the stream, I will be putting links in the description below where you can send in your deals. So it's hotusedmeta@gmail.com. That's the email for sending the deals in. So with that said, we're going to, so thanks for that. Also, Steve, thanks a lot, man. That's a pretty good deal though. 160 for all that is actually really nice. It's a really solid deal. And next up here we've got, so good job, Brian. It sounds like, definitely Brian is a deal hunting name. That's what we're going to take from that.
Exactly.
So next up we've got Reed. I think it's Reed here, and you want
Yep.
to tell us a little bit more about this deal? I mean, it does look pretty good. Some of the stuff we're pulling up here does look pretty good. Ooh, super overclock. Is this the one with the 5 fans on the side?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that really fatty one. So Reed's from your neck of the woods. He's
Yeah.
from Sydney, Australia.
Oh man,
And
Reed's
yes,
been emailing me about this card, and he's like, "Brian, you gotta
oh,
get this card." And I'm just like, "Dude, I'm not." I think it was like I wanted to pay $150 for a GTX 680. I was like, "Dude, I'm not paying that for a 680." But he said
uh,
it's got such nostalgic value, and I mean,
it
looking at it,
does.
yeah, I mean, looking at it now, it looks really cool. But I'm gonna just hazard a guess that those little fans, I think they're 40 mil fans, yeah, they're kind of gonna suck.
Oh yeah, and
Mm.
they just add noise probably without much value. Because
I
like
mean,
the hub itself probably takes up most of the surface area
yeah.
compared to the fins.
That's it. I mean, this is why sort of when I think Gigabyte might have been maybe abusing some substances with the R&D or whatever. I don't know. Because yeah, I mean, it's really cool for nostalgic purposes. It's like an out there model.
Hmm.
But yeah, this is so yeah, Reed, he's on Gumtree. The card is, oh wow. Did he get this thing for
Yeah,
$35?
yeah. He said so. He got this for 40
50.
Australian dollars, which is about 30 USD on Gumtree. Which
Yeah.
it's funny he explains that sort of like Craigslist because I watch all your stuff and that's why I know what Gumtree is from your videos.
Yeah.
But
Oh, Gumtree's
yeah.
amazing. Gumtree's amazing. The thing is, it's more for like people who know how to search and stuff like that. You know, deal hunters love Gumtree, and also people who
Hmm.
just want to sell stuff and quickly get rid of it. I know Facebook's a lot better for selling PCs. Apparently, I never try it. I don't have
Yeah.
time to even bother researching. But we got here the GTX 680. That's a nice pickup. $40, man. That's actually really solid. So I think
Yeah.
Reed was always telling me about these super overclocks. He was showing me. I think it might have not been Reed. I don't know. I got to pull. It's actually been quite a few months ago, and he was saying
Hmm.
about how cool it was. And I was just looking at the price, and for me, it was like, nah, I'm not paying like on eBay as well. But if you picked it up off Gumtree for $40, that's really
Yeah.
nice. That's
I
a
don't recall if you've mentioned this already, but how's the Craigslist market there? Do
when
you even use it at all?
no, I never heard of people using Craigslist in Oz,
Oh,
man.
okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, so okay, we're gonna pull up the next deal here. That was pretty cool. So definitely Reed scored something pretty nice there. But we got here Max H. It's Maximus.
Yeah.
Is he getting the deals? Tell me if he's what we got here. Is he pulling up mad deals, or
All right.
is Maximus falling behind a little bit?
So he got a R9 380X. He actually got it from a friend that upgraded, but it was still for a really good price. He got it for $100, which I think is not the most amazing deal because this is kind of getting to be an older card. It's kind of like a slightly higher clocked 280X, which was kind of a rebrand of the 7970, right?
Yeah, oh, dude, it was like
Um,
that series of AMD cards kind of like did my head in. It was like a rebrand of a rebrand of a
yeah.
refresh of a rebrand. It was kind of like, guys, you got to stop doing this to me. And then
Yeah, so they didn't really improve on the tech,
yeah,
but if you can get it for cheap enough, it doesn't matter, right? It's about the performance per dollar you're getting.
yeah. Oh man, he's going
Yeah.
crazy. There's so many back and forths. He's got $100 bill. I like this guy, man. He's saying, look, yo, I got this 100. You want it? And I guess
Hmm.
he did want it in the end. So that's not a bad deal. Not a bad deal at all.
Yeah.
Solid little card. So that was AUD or USD?
No, that's USD.
Okay.
So yeah,
USD. Yeah, it's okay. It's
I
okay.
I think all those cards, though, even on the AMD side, anything that has performance of like the 7950 or above, or the 280X, they all saw a hit with the whole crypto
Oh
situation.
yeah.
It's just because like you can't get the next better card available, so everything below it kind of went up as well, in because of the demand.
That's exactly right. I mean, with the crypto release, if you guys didn't know, basically you wanted the most efficient cards. So whatever wasn't efficient, and especially in the crypto crunch, that's when the prices started going down and the difficulty went up. You saw a sort of like a big release of people wanting to get rid of cards. There was a guy on Gumtree today. I didn't put it in the used the deal hunt this month, but there was a guy I was talking to. He had 6 980s for sale.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, and I just messaged him like I was trying to pick up one for just trying to pick up one for around 270 AUD, and then he said, I've got 4 of them. You want to buy them? And I said, I'll do you 1050 for that, $1,000, 1,050 AUD for 4 980s. That's about my max.
Hmm.
And he ended up selling them, and I know who he sold them to. He sold them to like another. He sold them to a hustler here on the Gold Coast for 1,200 AUD. And I'm like, damn, dude.
Oh.
I said to him, I replied, like, dude, you got some pretty good money for that. Those GTX 980s, and yeah, but the market at the moment's kind of like it's shifting back towards used prices going up a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's just a back and forth at the moment. It really is, to the point where I'm going to pull up some of these last deals here. So now we got some in the hot used meta email box here. We had Brandy. He picked up an AeroCool case for $150 USD. And now with that case, it was filthy. You can see from the pictures here, it's filthy. And he got an FX 8370, AMD 990 FX, and a 16 gigabytes of DDR3, and a Max T30, and an AeroCool Strike X case. Sorry, I pull up the next deal. Now he picked that up for 150 USD. Like, and that's not bad at all. So,
Wait, was there a graphics card?
Yeah, no
wasn't.
graphics card. So it's just a case, motherboard. It looks like a hard drive as well, and 16 gigabytes of RAM. So it's not a bad deal. It's not like the best deal, but that case, the AeroCool Strike X, is a pretty solid case. It does go for decent money, and it also
Was there a
really
picture
good
of the case?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
So,
there it is. The
Yeah,
bench.
sorry. Yeah, you got a bit of a delay here. Otherwise, my little.
yeah.
So I'm only streaming on an i5 8400. That's it. No graphics card. So it's struggling a little bit. He's struggling, this little 8400. We've got so the next deal, and then the last deal we got up here. Actually, two more deals. Larson from, I think it's Norway, with the NOK. I think that's their currency. I don't even know if I pronounced that right, and people will be like, yo, you butchered the pronunciation. But Larson picked up basically 20 USD for a GTX 670. And as I was saying before, the GTX 670s, they're still really good, because a lot of those, a lot of the 6 Series cards when they were first released, they had overkill cooling solutions on them. And this is something that we haven't really spoke about, is a lot of, because coming from the 5 Series, that ran it ridiculously hot, those cards. And so we had the cooling solutions. And when the 6 Series came out, they were just running really cool. And people were like, yo, why are these 6 Series cards running so cool? And it's because they prepped them from the 580s. And of course, now to this date, those 6 Series cards are still alive because they had such good thermal solutions. So if you find something like this, like a WindForce, for $20, it's such a good deal. It's not funny. I mean, that's a really good deal.
Yeah.
For 20. I'd pay $20 for a 670.
I paid probably $30 for
Yeah.
a 670. I'd pay like, well, okay, what's the max you would pay for that?
For a 670, max I'd pay is USD 35. Like that's
35.
I could stretch it up to 40. Like if I
I'd
was,
say
if I was,
40 just
if I was
because of the
desperate.
1080p performance it gives.
Yeah.
Like, so many people are still on 1080p. And if you market this on your local listing, let's say you're buying it to put together a system to sell, you can market it as like, it plays CS:GO, LOL, Fortnite, all those very popular games, and people are going to pick it up because if they don't know how to build a computer and it has something like this in it, it's not the best card, but it gets them the performance because they're probably on a 1080p monitor if they don't know too much about computers, and they're just kind of sticking to what's standard.
Yeah, exactly right. So he picked that up. He also got a GTX 660 here for $13 as well. So good job, Larson. You really, I do worry about that little bit of rust, though. I mean, that's kind of like a little bit. I think it looks like a little bit of rust. I can't see too clearly. Let's have a little zoom in. No, it's not rust. It's just something discolored on the little washer there. So okay. Interesting deal. Pretty cool deal. 2 cards for $33 or something like that. That's really good value. And then next up here, we've got, I think it's Wen. I'm not sure how you pronounce that name, from Vietnam. And he's just hunting some deals. And he told me he got so his nickname's Tux. And he got a HD 7970 for 100 US, which is like 2,300,000 dong. That's like, so you can be a millionaire, guys, in Vietnam for a couple of dollars. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm taking out of this.
Yeah. Oh, it's the Tri-X WindForce. I like that one. I like the Gigabyte WindForce series. Having 3 fans is really nice for when one dies and you can still run it very well just off 2.
Well, the 7970, that was a phenomenal card. I mean, that was the card for me. That was when AMD and Nvidia were really going at it. You got new cards. You were coming out in 40. You went from, on both sides, you went from 40 nanometer to 28, and they both offered extremely good performance. So like whenever I see a 7970 or a GTX 670 or a 7950 or a GTX 680, it just reminds me of those days when AMD and Nvidia were going so hard at each other. And it was like, that was when, the fanboy wars were really strong too. But yeah, that was
Yeah, and they've held up well over time.
Yeah, and so for $100 is a decent deal, especially in the current climate. I've picked up, I mean, personally, I've picked up some 7970s. I think 90 Aussie was the cheapest I got one, which would have been like 70 USD or something like that. So I have gotten,
really good.
I have gotten some cheaper 7970s in the past, but that's a solid deal, especially in Vietnam. I know guys in Vietnam, Philippines, and India, they always tell me they're not getting really good deals, and they watch my parts hunts and they're like, yo, I can't get these deals, Brian. And it's like, I know, don't worry, I'm in the works. I actually got contacted by a popular League of Legends streamer under their management. They just love my channel. They love what I do, and they're like, look, we want you. They're like in the talks at the moment. So if you guys want this idea as well, let me know. But we're in talks at the moment to go to, say, the Philippines or Vietnam or maybe India, and go collaborate with a League of Legends streamer, and then we perhaps set up. I go use parts hunting there, and then we so we build this guy a PC, and then he streams on it, League of Legends, and then we give it away to that country in that country. Like, what do you think?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's just what's in the works. So.
Yeah, no, that's really awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's just an idea. So I don't know.
That'd be a good chance for you to travel too.
Yeah, exactly. So it would love to. But anyways, that's kind of wrapping up the hot used metas for this month. If you have any submissions of your own, then be sure to send any links to. Sorry, I've got to turn the chat on. If we have any submissions, be sure to send them to hotusedmeta@gmail.com. And then also Danny as well. He's got his channel. Make sure you check it out. Nerd on a Budget. So I'm just trying to fix this text live. It's a bit weird. I'm weird anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm just trying to fix up this live chat to make it pretty live. So there we go. Everyone's going to be pink. There we go. Y'all get the pink text. Yeah, boys. All right, so so yeah, thanks for coming on. If you guys enjoyed this show, then be sure to slap that like button. And thanks for the continued support. Danny as well, make sure you check out his channel. He's really into deal hunting. We met back in PAX. Oh, man. How long ago? How long ago?
That was 2 years. Not this last PAX, but the one before it.
It was a while ago, wasn't it? Yeah, like I was at PAX. It was towards the end of the year in Seattle. What month was that?
Yep.
Was it September?
It was a Labor Day weekend. We always have it then.
Okay, and yeah, that was Seattle. And I met Danny on the, it was near the Intel booth, I think it was, or whatever. I think it was around there. And yeah, that's when I first knew about you, and you were just really nice. And that's the thing about me, man. Like, I don't really care about the whole business side of things. If some dude is a douchebag, I don't want to work with them. I don't want to know him. You know what I mean? Like, this is serious. Like, I can't, douchebaggery just gets straight off, you know. And it's funny because you see people online, right? And you think, oh, he looks really nice in real life. And then you meet him and you're like, whoa, dude, you got to take a step back. And you're like, whoa, what did I just experience here? I mean, I'm not going to mention any names or anything like that. Just to,
I remember what happened, though, during that PAX. There's something happened, so yeah.
Yeah, but just, you know, there's things that happen and you sort of take a step back. But it's got me on this sort of thing now. And, you know, there's also the opposite to that. People think people are really bad online, yet in real life, they're really cool. Like, for instance, another I just teamed up with Greg from Science Studio. He's a really cool guy in real life. You know, and in ways he's sort of, it feels like he's different online than he is in real life. You know, people do, like, people tell me, they DM me and they message me like, yo, I don't like Greg from Science Studio, Brian. Why are you teaming up with him? And I just reply, like, give the guy a chance. He's really cool. If you met him in real life, you would like him. So I met Danny in real life. I like him. He's also awesome on the internet. So make sure you check him out as well. And if you've got the, make sure, guys, if you've got the deals you want to submit, I'll put the link in the description, or at least the email, so we can check out them hot deals. Make sure, guys, high-res photos. Make sure we get the prices in there. And also, please cancel out the numbers. I don't want to be showing people's phone numbers.
Yeah, that was my bad. I should have filtered it a lot better.
That's all right.
Yeah,
That's all right, man. So you're making celebrities over in India here overnight, man.
Yeah.
So chat was cracking as well. I think we got up to we broke over 1,000 concurrents as well. So thank you guys so much for that. From now, I'm also gonna, why not? I mean, if Danny's got a bit of time, we might do an after-hours stream over at Twitch, Tech City TV, and that'll be the Patreon live. That'll be the Patreon live as well, and also the sponsors. If you're a YouTube sponsor, you get access to the archives. So we're all gonna head over to Tech City TV on Twitch, and I'm going to start streaming with Danny. This is going to be behind the scenes stuff. We're not going to really talk about tech. I just haven't spoke to Danny in a long time too, so I want to talk about more the personal stuff, and I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. We're going to peace out off the YouTube channel. Love you all. Peace out for now. Do you want to say closing out, Danny, too?
Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. I really do appreciate it. And thanks for having me on the stream, Brian, and reaching out to do this. This was really fun. So
no worries.
Looking forward to doing more of it if you're down. So
and I couldn't think of someone better to do with deal hunting, like talking about deals and stuff like that. So that's all I'm going to say. So, and also, do you want to say a peace out for now? Bye.
Oh yeah, peace out.